Oh, holy sh**, that's good. Welcome back to another episode of Big Shticks, you guys. Thank you so much for those of you who are subscribed, specifically for my cooking. I know a lot of you also subscribe for my fishing. My channel isn't popular enough to split it up into two at the moment, but hopefully in the near future that may or may not happen. We'll see. What I'm cooking today is going to be a 3-pound ribeye. It's about 2 inches thick, and I'm going to hang it on the pit barrel. I seen Pit Barrel put out a video of how to hang it, and they simply drilled through the bone. I'm not going to do that today. Today I'm just going to take a little bit of butcher's twine, I'm going to tie it around the bone, and I'm going to hang it that way. So stick with me, folks. We're about to get started. Okay, here we go. So a little bit of EVOO or extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to use this as a binder. Not going to put too much on here because the fat, I know for sure, is going to render in the pit barrel, and that's what's going to lend its flavor. And if you know anything about me, you know I like to keep my seasonings very simple. So I'm just rolling with kosher salt, a little bit of ground black pepper, and some granulated garlic. Now this is a big piece of meat. It can handle a lot of salt, and I'm going to hit it off with a little bit more than the average steak and salt. A little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of garlic. Granulated garlic, that is. Just flip it over here. A little bit more EVOO. And don't worry, I'm going to get the edges. So, hitting it off with a little bit more than the average shake of salt. More black pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Alright, now I'm just going to take this butcher's twine here, double it up. I don't know quite how I'm going to do this just yet, but I do know that the bone is relatively thin right here and fat right here, so I know that whatever knot I tie isn't going to slip. I'll probably just do a double overhand surgeon's knot here. With just a little overhand knot. And I think that's going to help. That's going to make it stand upright. Yeah, that's going to work perfect. Alright, so now the pit barrel has been coming up to temperature. I didn't want it to have that initial spike where it like climbs up to 325, and then it really settles in and starts really rocking at about 285. And that's where I wanted my pit barrel to be when I stick this in there. That way this steak is cooking low and slow. Now, this steak here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I chose this one from the chuck end. And the reason why I did that is because it has this really big cap. Whereas with some ribeye steaks, you'll notice that the cap or spinalis is really thin. Now that's my favorite part of the steak, and it's probably yours too. So that's why I chose it from the chuck end, because the spinalis is huge and the actual eye of the ribeye is relatively small. That way the steak that I get is the one that I want. So come on outside with me, folks. We're gonna go hang this up. Okay, pit barrel's been rocking and rolling. It's about time to get this thing going. If I could just find my hoop. I'm just going to use the hook. And I got this little piece that came with the turkey hanger. And I'm going to use that just so I can hang it in the center. And I'll just use this little T-bar that comes with, and we'll stick it in. That's going to hang a little bit lower than I hoped. Okay, gonna have to fix that. I am just going to hook it directly onto the original knot so that it doesn't hang so low in here. That's perfect. Now I know for next time. Close the lid. I'm probably gonna let this thing roll for about an hour before I check temp. I'm probably looking at about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Considering that's what it generally takes when I'm cooking tri-tip, and tri-tip is a little bit more denser meat than a ribeye, so maybe I'm just gonna check it at an hour. We'll see where we're at then. So while this thing is going over the next hour or so, I'm gonna show you guys a little sauce, or an au jus if you will. It's not really, because it's, you know, it's not using pan juice or anything, but it's the closest thing that you'll get to it. I like to use it for my prime rib. I kind of miss prime rib. The last time I had it was Christmas. Today is the national title game, so it's January 7th. And I want what would come out like a smoked prime rib, and so that's why I'm going to make the sauce. And I think you'll enjoy it with any steak that you eat, or, yeah, any beef for that matter. So come with me, folks. We're going to get started on that sauce right now. Okay, so first things first, I got a cup and a half of water here. I have a little bit of beef base and some chicken base, because everybody knows that mixing the two makes the best sauces. So I'm going to go with the beef base first. Enough for 1 cup. And I'll put that in the water. I'll grab enough chicken base for a half a cup of water. And then anything like a white wine or a white cooking wine or sherry cooking wine works. So what I have on hand today is sherry. And I'm probably going to add, I don't know, about 3 tablespoons to this. And then we'll get the fire going. We're going to let these things come to a boil, and then we'll turn down the temperature. And we'll just let it simmer. It's just about reached a boil. At this point, I'm just going to give it a taste, you know, to see if I need to add any more beef base or chicken base, or even if it just needs, you know, a little salt. Nope. What it does need is more sherry, though, or at least for my liking. So I'm probably going to add about a teaspoon here. I don't want to add too much and overwhelm it. You don't want it to just taste like a wine sauce, you know. You really want it to be more or less like an au jus, where it has those wine notes, but it also tastes nice and beefy, but it has something in the background, which is that chicken base, that really sets this sauce apart. Just going to give it a taste again here, see if that was what it was. Okay, that's perfect. Now that it's boiled, I'm just going to set it on the back burner and let this continue to simmer until we're ready to serve that steak. Alright, so I've been inside having a few man pops, getting ready for this game. It's been about 45 minutes or so. I need to take the temperature. I don't want to overdo this. I've never done it like this way before, so you know, I just want to be extra cautious. Alright, it's about 1:30. I'm gonna pull it. So I kind of overshot the temperature that I was shooting for. I really wanted it somewhere in the neighborhood of about 120 to 125. I mean, but it looks fantastic, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna wrap it here in heavy duty foil. I'm gonna let it rest. Now this steak is probably gonna be over what I usually go for, because I'm usually shooting for mid-rare. This is really gonna make my wife happy. And make no mistake, a steak like this for one person, I mean, that's way too much, if you ask me. It's overindulgent. So this one I'm probably gonna share with my wife. I'll probably cut some really fine strips off of it and turn it into a French dip for her, since I got that sauce and some Swiss cheese. Throw it on some sourdough bread and let her go to town on it. It's her favorite thing in the whole wide world to eat. And even though this isn't prime rib, it is a prime steak, so it comes from the same cut. Who cares? Let's do it. Okay, so here we are, moment of truth. It's been resting for about 10 minutes. I'm a big proponent of letting beef relax after it's cooked. You know, that way those fibers can really loosen up and reabsorb those juices before you cut it. So it looks fantastic, smells fantastic. In fact, it smells just like the prime rib that I cooked on Christmas. Just gonna take off the string. And we'll give this a cut. Just going to cut off a portion of the spinalis here, and I'm going to cut it into strips. It doesn't look too bad. It appears to be medium in doneness. So let me slice this up here, see what we got going on. This steak is seriously juicy, and it appears to be medium, which is a little past my taste, but I'm sure it'll do well for the wifey. I need to get some of the sauce. So I have some of the au jus here that we made earlier. Just gonna give this a taste. Oh shit, that's really good. Like, I'm impressed with this. I wish I would have took it to mid-rare, but as I said, I've never done this before. So if you get a chance, folks, to cook a cowboy ribeye, and I made the mistake of calling it a tomahawk in my last video, and people gave me grief over it simply because it's missing the extra 6 to 8 inches of rib bone. Whoop-de-doo. Do it. Man, the flavor is phenomenal. Perfect. So again, folks, that's it for me. Cowboy ribeye steak, done on the pit barrel cooker. Until next time, guys, from my kitchen to yours, Big Shticks out. Okay, let's assemble the French dip. This is sourdough bread. We're just going to put a bunch of thin slices of ribeye steak on here. The wife's favorite sandwich. Pile it on high. Why not? Gonna indulge. I'm gonna put 2 thin slices of Swiss cheese on here. I know traditionally it's made with provolone, but whatevs. Just take this here, this sandwich.
Tablet? Which one? Mommy, where's the tablet?
Just gonna cut this.
Because we want our tablet. It's super hard.
There it is. That there with the sauce. French dip. Better than any restaurant. And how is that?
Oh,